Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Evelina and I'm just gonna straight jump into the subject, which is changing your life, changing your reality. But a lot of people struggle with that idea. I want to talk to you about why most people struggle with that from the perspective of somebody who had struggle. We think, most of us, that if we want to be something, to live certain type of life, we have to change. We think if we just start doing these things that supposed to bring us good outcome, also known as discipline, just like with the gym. I give the gym as an example often because the gym is a big part of my life. Also, it's a great example. You think, okay, I want to have this beautiful body. And if I start going to the gym, I will have that beautiful body. And that's true. The only thing is that most people get discouraged shortly after, or they don't have the discipline to stick around long enough to see those results. And the thing is that whenever you do stick around long enough, your mind starts to change. Your view on whatever that thing in your life is shifts. You're learning, you're understanding, and you're adapting to it. But if you don't have the patience to do that, there won't be any change. Just like if you go 1 week to the gym, you're not gonna see the body that you want. The other thing is, let's say you want the dream job, you want the dream house, you want to live a life where you want to travel all the time and see the world. You want to find the one and only, which, by the way, I think it's such a scam, but that's going to be another video probably. There's so many subjects I can go into within this conversation that is really hard for me to just not go there. So I'm gonna stay with what I'm talking about. We want this thing. Therefore, we start acting in a certain way that we believe we should to get it. But you can't fake it for too long. Eventually, very soon after you start making those changes, you will find these resistances within yourself, these challenges. And the challenges will be from the universe to check if you're actually prepared for that. A lot of us think that, okay, all I have to do is just whatever the thing is, be disciplined in that area, do the things that are right, that we've learned, heard that are right, and I should get it. The truth is that it doesn't work like that. Why? Because in order for you to get what you want, to change your life, you have to change entirely who you are and not to start acting like somebody who you should be, because a lot of videos are saying act as if you are that person, and that's great, and I think that is an important part. But the thing is that we think that we should receive that easy and quick. We all know it doesn't work like that, but we hope for the best outcome. But the reality is, you need to go through reconstruction of your identity. Meaning that most times, honestly, that's my experience, and I wish I could say there are situations that works in an easier way, but most likely it's not easy. And for me, hasn't been easy. And the way this works is you're gonna be broken down. Imagine when they building a new building, they have to break this old building and build back up a new building. So you're sitting here and you're thinking and envisioning this future that you want, and the universe is listening and it's bringing it to you. And it's not going to be in the way that you want it. It's going to be in the way that you need it in order to have it, because you have to be remolded. Is that how you say it? In order for you to be that, you have to learn how to be, and that will be through experiences. And depending on how much you resist the change, that's how hard your experiences are going to be. I'm speaking from my own experience. I've struggled so much with myself without even realizing how much I have resisted my changes. I'm not gonna lie to you, this path might not be short, but eventually it all makes sense. Within these challenges, you're gonna start realizing things about yourself. And when you do, you will have to make a choice. The more you learn and the more you get your lessons, the more apparent becomes that you have to choose you. And society has made us believe that thinking of yourself and putting yourself first, giving yourself what you need, is being selfish. We've been taught to give ourselves out and away to people, but nobody has taught us to collect ourselves, to think of our own well-being. Once you start becoming aware that you are deserving this, whatever it is, that you need to put yourself first, that's when you're starting to change your patterns, because we have those patterns that they keep happening in our lives, with relationships, with choices, with whatever it is. There is a pattern always. So these patterns start changing. It's reconstruction, not only of the way you see the world, but of who you are. In order for you to get something different than what you have already, because we're talking about changing your life, meaning that whatever you're receiving, not to be ungrateful, but is not what you want and it's not where you want to be, then that means that you have to change the way you're making it. It's like cooking. If you keep cooking it in the same way, it's going to taste the same way. And if you don't like it, there's something you need to change about the recipe. That could be as simple as the conversations and the ideas that you're entertaining, even with the closest people in your life. You can find yourself in a pattern. If you think about the most significant things in your life, the most important things to you that you want to improve in your life, start thinking about how the people around you connect with you on the same subject and have the same struggle. And let me tell you that you all are justifying the position that you're in one or another way, because the only way to change that is changing yourself, but you can't change it if everybody around you doesn't make the change, or you have to extract yourself from that, which is why a lot of times when we're growing and we're progressing in our lives, certain people just fall off of your life. You're no longer on the same mindset. You're no longer on the same level, and not for you to be superior, but if you're in a race, you're not gonna stop and wait for somebody to catch up with you and then race together. No, you're on a race, and that's the race of your life. And that could be slow pace, fast pace, whatever pace you choose, or whatever pace it takes for you to get where you need to get. It's very important to be real with yourself. As much as there are things that are subconscious to us, and we don't know that they're the blocks to on the road to where we want to go, as long as you keep doing the work within yourself through different things. For me, that's reading, meditation. To me, that's journaling. All of the paths that bring you to you, allow you to communicate with yourself, you will get the answers. And the conscious things that you already know about, but you are refusing to change for one or another reason, because you don't have enough will within yourself to fight that thing, or because you believe that you don't have enough strength, because you have fears, whatever it is. There's a quote by Tony Robbins, and I will try to say it correctly. I think it was something like, change comes when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing. And this is so true, because until you have this real talk with yourself, until you sit with yourself and meet the ugliest parts of yourself, you're not going to be able to work with those parts of yourself, because they're the one that are pulling you back. They're the one that are insisting change. Not because they're bad. They're parts of you that you need to acknowledge and recognize and decide that you want to work with and take with you as well. So when you're ready to face yourself and the ugly sides of yourself, the dark sides of yourself, your insecurities, your shortcomings, procrastination, laziness in every area of your life, change is not going to come. But once you do, it's the first step to change. And then you have a lot more work to do. But the main thing is, in order for you to get what you want, you have to change who you are. Not pretending that you're somebody else, but change your ways. Full reconstruction. and surrender to the process, no matter how painful that would be. I don't know how I have the ability to keep finding hope and faith in certain situations in my life, because truthfully, I feel and I have felt tired of trying and trying and trying. But the thing is that I was learning something every single time. And so that's what I want to talk to you about, because I see so many videos out there about changing your life, manifesting your dream life, becoming the true version of you, the real version of you. And it's all inspirational for the most part. But I don't see many people talking about the ugliness of it, of the pain and the challenge and the countless days of struggle to really overcome your conditioning, your limiting beliefs, and who you've been and who you were created to be. And yes, we are product of society and people around us, but also we can't keep blaming them for it, you know? We can't keep hiding behind our traumas. We can't keep hiding behind hard times. We have to come out and take responsibility, because once you're aware of the things that affect your life and were not within your power in the past, but now you have the power. Now you can change your life. Now is your decision. I think about this very often whenever I'm challenged and whenever I catch myself being in the role of the victim. And it's not that I wasn't, in the situation, whatever that might be, but still, you think of yourself as a victim, you always are going to be. It's kind of like a script for a movie when they have a certain person playing the role. And when you keep looking at the same script and you have positioned yourself in the role of the victim, the script is always the same. But if you take yourself out, you stop playing that role, then your whole perspective, your whole life changes. To summarize, I would say, take a deep breath always and be ready. Face yourself with the ugly, especially the ugly, and choose for yourself to be not a victim of your past. Choose yourself, because the only change that's required comes from you, nobody else. And until you do that, your life won't change. But if you're willing to change, no matter how hard that would be, you will go through it and you will change. I want to add something. I had a conversation with a friend of mine that we talk about these things a lot. And she said, I was talking to this friend of mine and she seemed kind of different. I was just wondering, like, why? And then I realized it wasn't her that was different. It was me. I had changed. And that was like a aha moment for me, because a lot of times we think that while we're changing ourselves, while these things are molding us to be who we actually are, and we think as others, but it's us that we're changing. So therefore, we are not aligning with these people. There's not much you can say to these people anymore. And it's okay for them to be where they're at. And it's okay for you to be where you're at. If things disconnect between you and other people, that doesn't mean they're bad or you're bad. It means that you're on your path and they are on their own path. And those paths are no longer meeting. So I guess I'm going to leave it at that. If this is not your first time seeing my video and you catch yourself continue to watch my videos, please subscribe, because it will make a big difference for me, as you already know. And I really hope you like my content. And if you do, and that's your first time watching my video, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.